Yo, what is up, guys? I am back with again another Transformers Studio Series figure review. This is Studio Series number 88, Revenge of the Fallen Sideways. This is the first Studio Series that I've gotten with this kind of empty, not plastic covering. You can kind of just go right in, and yeah, not the biggest fan of that, but this is a very small, very compact, as you can see, very small box. For a very small figure in Sideways. Sideways appeared in Transformers Revenge of the Fallen right at the beginning of the movie before shortly being sliced in half by Sideswipe. On the side, we got a nice view of Sideways' head, and he does have a pretty similar resemblance to another Decepticon, Barricade. I kind of was just noticing that as you look at, he has the two sets of eyes, just like Barricade, very insect-like, like all of the Bay Transformers. On the back, you see the Audi he turns into, only it's not an Audi because they couldn't get the rights for it. And they do give him, which I love, they give him the gun that he had in the Transformers Revenge of the Fallen game, which was out on Xbox and PlayStation back in the day. Sideways was a main villain for the Shanghai missions, and he always had this signature kind of tri-coned blaster, which is really cool to see them adapting this into the toy form as well. But without further ado, let's get this guy out of the package and give him a closer look. And here we have Sideways out of the box in all of his glory. And I have to say, for being such a small and cheap figure, this is not really disappointing. I mean, other than the one biggest gripe I have, which is a complaint you can see a lot of other people have, is how weak the leg pieces are. As you can see, they're very skinny, and he does have a lot of stuff going on at the top of his body, especially having some significantly thicker arms, as well as the two doors that go kind of flying up the back. And he does have, see if I can get him rotated without falling here, he does have some pretty decently condensed back kibble. So it's a good looking figure, other than the issues you're gonna find with getting him to stand up. So I have him in a actually pretty good position here, where he is standing well on his own. But as you can see here, he has the ball joint, his arms are connected on the ball. So you are going to run into a bit of a struggle there with the posability of him, but as you can see, you still can get him in a number of really decent, cool positions here. And as zooming in up close, again, arms are connected on the ball joints. The legs have great posability and bending, as well as rotating in and out, as well as the feet being able to extend in either direction. It really is good articulation all the way around here. Again, the only thing bringing this figure down is the lack of balance, but you kind of got to deal with that when you're taking a Sideways figure into account. So looking at the back again here, this figure really does look nice. Like this back piece really does condense well and look just like he does have in those movies and the game, with the somewhat thicker kind of hunched appearance in the back with the transformation of him. So all in all, it's a really nice looking robot. As we'll get one more little kind of up close look at that head sculpt, really nice looking insectoid head sculpt. Only thing I would have wished is if they put a little bit of paint and made those eyes red, as it does kind of come off a little dull in the face there, but not terrible, as you still can see a lot of the nice detail in there all around. And I guess this upper area with the nice silver colors and gunmetal gray and black. So with that being said, let's get this guy into, oh, one last thing. So his blaster actually can go in either hand, and it literally tabs right in to his hand. You literally just curl up his hand and put it right in. So it's like a transfusion, like the blaster transforms right out of his hand, which is really cool. He kind of just grabs onto it, and you can put it either way. So I really do like that there. But let's get this guy into his Audi form and check him out. And boom, there we have Sideways in his Audi vehicle mode. And man, does this look like an amazing Audi that is technically not an Audi. There's just details all over this guy, from these little side pieces to the front area where the plate would be, at the lights. It's just a beautiful front area of the car right there. Spinning him around to the side, which is really authentic to his appearance in the movie, especially with those details in the back. just looking at that. It's a really nice red color too. Matches the, although this figure is really just gray on gray with some black and some silver, it really does. He did have those red lights that really shone in the movie, because this is really the only form he took in the movie, as he drove and then got absolutely sliced in half by a side swipe. But all in all, really nice looking vehicle mode, really small looking vehicle mode. And let's pull in some other guys to really showcase that. And here we can see Revenge of the Fallen sideways next to Transformers, the #1, or Transformers the movie, Bumblebee, and Jazz. So as you can see, he is about the same size as Bumblebee, and he's a bit bigger than Jazz here, but perfect scale for the size of these specific cars. And he looks really nice alongside him, even though Jazz is dead before he even gets close to him, and B and Sideways never meet, because of course he dies 5 minutes into the movie. But really good looking vehicle mode, no complaints there. It looks really good. And as one final look, there is Sideways next to Voyager class Ironhide. So gives you a little bit better of a scale comparison next to a what would be a Deluxe compared to a Voyager. And just to give you a little comparison here, here is Sideways next to Voyager class Revenge of the Fallen Starscream, and the 2007 Deluxe class Bone Crusher, who I just have here to kind of give a look back at how these old figures used to look. This is a really nice figure that still holds up really well. The design of the new Bone Crushers is pretty much identical to it, so I don't really even see a point in me needing to pick this guy up when I could still throw him next to these guys. And he still does work in scale. Maybe a little bit small, could be a bit bigger, but it works out. Sideways is one of the smallest Decepticons, so he really does seem to be pretty accurate to scale with some of the other Decepticon guys. And once you slot in a couple of the Autobots, you can see how he pretty much perfectly scales up next to Bumblebee, and it's pretty accurate compared to where Prime would be, as Prime is kind of hunched over, but he is still significantly taller than Sideways, as he should be. So all in all, this guy is a perfect little addition to fit in with the rest of the Revenge of the Fallen line for the Studio Series. All in all, with Sideways, I'm actually really pleasantly surprised with how well this guy looks. Like, the more I'm looking at him, the more I like him. Like, especially just because of how well he condenses here and how faithful to the design we see in the game it actually is. And do no means do I think that this is a perfect figure, especially due to the balance issues it has, and how easily it is knocked over and hard it is to amputate, as you can see from the multiple cuts I'm taking after handling him in the slightest of ways. But again, if you are just going to leave him like this, you can see he really does look good. And when he's posable wise, other than a little bit of emptiness there in the legs, I mean, it's a really good looking figure, and I'm really loving the head sculpt there. Really good looking figure all in all. I know I keep saying that, but you got to get this guy. He's cheap. When you get your hands on him, you'll be able to tell these Studio Series figures are just really nice. Other than that, that's about all I have to say to add onto this figure. Looking forward to getting my hands on Sideswipe, to seeing how he looks next to him. Maybe we could recreate that Shanghai scene, pick up Rampage, as we already have Ironhide. We'll get a couple more guys in there and see what we can do. But in the meantime, look forward to more content like this coming soon. Any feedback is appreciated. Likes, dislikes, comments, anything. And until next time, peace.